Surrounded by enemies, hundreds of thousands of soldiers awaited certain death on the beaches of Dunkirk. Then, without explanation, the winds shifted, the seas calmed, and deliverance came from the unlikeliest fleet ever assembled. History called it strategy. Survivors called it a miracle. May 1940. Europe was falling apart. The German army had advanced with terrifying speed, sweeping across France and driving the Allied forces, British, French and Belgian, toward the sea. Nearly 400,000 men found themselves trapped on the northern coast, in a small port town called Dunkirk. Behind them, the German army closed in. Before them stretched the cold waters of the English Channel. Bombs fell daily, smoke turned the sky to ash. The beaches were choked with men, tired, hungry, waiting for ships that never seemed to come. High Command whispered grimly of surrender. There was no way to rescue so many under enemy fire. Yet somewhere, amid the despair, a quiet prayer rose, from soldiers, from families, from a nation. And then something extraordinary happened. Just as the German tanks reached the outskirts of Dunkirk, when victory was within their grasp, Hitler issued an unexpected order. Halt the attack. For 48 critical hours, the advancing armor stopped. To this day, historians debate why. Some claim he sought to preserve his tanks. Others say he was overconfident. But for those trapped on the sands, it was a divine pause, a breath of mercy in the middle of chaos. As the guns fell silent, British commanders launched a desperate plan. Operation Dynamo, a mass evacuation across the Channel. Every available ship would sail to Dunkirk, not just naval vessels, anything that could float. The next miracle came from the sea. When the call went out, hundreds of ordinary citizens answered. Fishermen, ferry captains, pleasure boat owners, people who had never seen battle, set sail from England under a grey dawn sky. The sea, which had been stormy for days, suddenly stilled. The winds shifted northward, blowing smoke inland, cloaking the beach from enemy planes. Tiny boats ferried soldiers from shallow surf to deeper waters where destroyers waited. Over and over they went, dodging bombs and bullets. The air thundered with explosions. Yet somehow, most boats made it through. Men wept openly as strangers pulled them aboard. Hope, once a faint ember, became flame. For 9 relentless days, the evacuation continued. Bombers raged overhead, but fog and low clouds often shielded the beach. Some pilots swore they flew through storms that appeared and vanished without warning. Others described the sea itself as unusually calm, like a hand had smoothed its surface. When it was over, 338,000 soldiers had been rescued. Only 30,000 were lost, an outcome no strategist could have predicted. Winston Churchill, in disbelief, later called it a miracle of deliverance. To the men who lived it, the word felt right. In the aftermath, Churchill warned that wars are not won by evacuations. Yet he too felt something larger had intervened. Across Britain, churches filled. Bells rang not for victory, but for gratitude. What began as disaster had become hope reborn. A nation that had stared into the abyss now believed again. Was it coincidence? Weather? Chance? Perhaps. But in the quiet hearts of those who prayed, it was providence. When all logic said it was over, faith whispered otherwise. The miracle of Dunkirk remains proof that sometimes the tide turns not by human command, but by unseen mercy. Like, share and follow Lanes and Lanterns for more stories of hope, timing, and the mysterious ways fate and faith intertwine.